Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Welcome back. Now, the term sharenting has been used to describe parents who feel the need to share almost every step of their child's life on social media without asking them. Some do it for money, some to reach out to friends and family, some are just showing off. The end result may be a generation of children growing up who find much of their private lives have been online for years. And what was cute in childhood may seem inappropriate in adulthood, and that may not be healthy. Fasma Manji reports.
24/7. Take a picture over there, take a picture over there, take a picture over there. My mum only says one more, but she ends up taking lots of pictures.
They might say, oh, can I take another? And then you do it again.
They call me the selfie queen.
Many children in the UK now have a digital footprint, long before they even take their first footsteps in the real world. And it is one that will last forever. Channel 4 News commissioned a poll with Parent Zone to find out about this new phenomenon of sharenting and the impact it might be having. Of the 1,000 parents we asked, we found that 98% say they are now sharing images of their children on social media. And over half of babies under 6 months old are already on public display.
Okay, so kids, just post. I'm going to do this. This is really.
As a mum of twins, Jilly is one of these many parents who's been posting the lives of her kids online.
When my kids were born, within an hour of them being born, their pictures were all over the world. You know, sent out to friends in every continent, and that's the world they've been born into. I have to be honest, it's one of the last things I do when I go to bed. It's one of the first things I do in the morning. It's like, how popular am I today? You know, I mean, it's a bit silly, isn't it, really? It really is a bit silly. But my kids are by the most important thing in my life. And to have that validated, to have people liking them, I mean, I'm ashamed to say it's quite a buzz.
And Jilly is not alone. Many parents see it as their right to share. But once an image is out there, it's hard to control. And our poll found that nearly 75% who share are now starting to worry about the risks. Vicky Scholtbolt is the head of Parent Zone, a digital parenting organisation who've been following the rise of this trend.
It's something that surprises us, and it's certainly something that raises some alarm bells. There were a couple of findings that really surprised us, and I think the one that stood out for me was that around a third of parents have never asked their children if it's okay to share a photo. And the flip side of that was that a third of children who had been asked said that they'd prefer their parent not to share the photo. And I think that's a bit of a wake-up call for parents, really. That's a lot of children who, given the opportunity, would be saying to their parents, please don't share that photo. And that's something that we really should be listening to.
We spoke to primary school kids and found that even at a very young age, they have strong ideas about their photo being shared with others.
I don't like it when she puts it on social media without asking me.
I don't like it when people are talking about it and I didn't know it's been sent.
I just say, you can't put it on social media, just keep it on your phone.
It's your photo, so you can tell them if you can put it on Facebook or not.
The issues of privacy raised by these children is something that's starting to gain traction in America.
You know how old she was? That was her first 4th of July after she was born.
Stacey Steinberg is Professor of Legal Skills in Florida. Her own sharenting led her to investigate what impact this might all be having on childhood development.
I think that it's really important for us to recognize that children have a need for privacy. And from a young age, they know that they want privacy. And by giving children the autonomy to help shape that public-private divide is going to help them as they become teenagers or adults themselves. This is an important part of childhood development for children to gain their own sense of self.
And it's not just the child's right to privacy. The mental health impacts of social media on teenagers are already well known, be it around body image or self-esteem. But the concern is that these issues may now be affecting much younger kids.
I tried to look very handsome.
There was one time I had crazy hair, like all crazy, and I didn't like it because he sent it to like everyone he knows.
The comments on some of them, they can be really mean and it could hurt your feelings.
Dr. Anne Karatz-Rudkin is a child clinical psychologist. She's seeing an increase of younger children for whom social media is starting to impact mental health.
My concerns are that I'm seeing more and more young people who feel less good about themselves, who feel more anxious about things, who are more worried about the future, and who don't quite know how to be themselves. Children love concrete, tangible rewards, and so likes, a number of likes or hearts or thumbs up are real tangible rewards. So actually children from as young as 18 months can really start looping into them as a reinforcement programme.
Our poll found that nearly 75% of parents show their children the number of likes that their photo receives. And from that, the same number of parents think that their child feels happy about themselves if they get a lot of likes.
I like the likes because they make me feel special.
It makes me feel happy when I'm sad.
People like it. That means it makes me a little bit really happy.
In the US, there is beginning to be such a concern around this issue that health bodies are being urged to make an official public health warning about it.
We're calling on the American Academy of Pediatrics to understand that sharenting and how parents talk about their kids online is a key issue in childhood development and childhood health. And we're asking them to consider adopting a set of best practices that can help guide parents through the daunting task of trying to share their own stories while also protecting their child's right to create their own digital footprint.
So it seems that instead of just teaching our kids how to be safe online, perhaps it's time that we start teaching parents about the potential problems of sharing too much before they create a digital footprint that will last forever.
Going forward, when they're older, if they have a conversation with me saying, "Mum, I hate it, stop it," you know what? I probably would think about stopping my Instagram account. I would take it all down. So I've got to make sure that the images that are about there are safe and are pleasant and are entertaining and fun for them and for the wider audience.
Fatima Manji reporting. Well, to explore further how sharenting plays with kids, we invited a few into the studio earlier to get their perspective. So how does your mum use social media?
They normally would they would say, today we're going to go on holiday, yay, and stuff like that. Or let's say it's my dad's birthday, and it's let's say 20th or something. Then they'll be like, oh wow, happy birthday and stuff. So we normally say it about special occasions, like what my sister.
And basically we would do it on any birthday that's in our family.
And they always take a picture of you and then put it on Facebook
yeah, sometimes,
or Instagram?
but not all the time.
My mum just does it regularly. Or she used to. And then there'd be pictures of me asleep, or pictures of me on my birthday, or just when I'm tired or when I'm happy, just randomly.
And how do you feel about that?
When they're ugly pictures, I don't like it. But when they're nice pictures, I don't really mind because she's my mum and then I trust her.
And did she ever ask your permission before putting it up on social media?
Not really. But I trust her, so...
So there's no issue there? You don't think she should have been asking you?
Yeah, when they're ugly photos.
How about you, Huxley?
Well, my parents, they're always on their phones, but my dad, he does it if it's a special occasion. But my mum doesn't really do it because when you put it on the internet, you can never take it down. And I don't really mind if I go on. I sort of want to because I know.
You wish they did it more?
Yeah, because I've never ever been on the internet or something. But I also know the dangers because my mum's always over and over talking about it being dangerous on the internet.
Are you on social media yourself?
Yeah.
Which networks do you use?
Musically, I'm on WhatsApp.
And do you put pictures of yourself up?
Yeah.
And do you feel differently about the pictures you put up compared to the pictures that your parents put up?
Because I make sure they look nice. I don't want to do a photo of me with my hair all messy and I look really tired and stuff. So yeah.
Our mum only puts stuff on Facebook or something if we say that she can or something.
So she asks you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you ever say no?
Sometimes.
Why'd you say no?
If it's not nice.
Well, if it's like really like weird.
If it's like a
and
private photo, if we don't want anyone to
make a
know.
weird face like, oh, that.
It's cringy or something.
Do you think, in general, adults should always ask children before putting pictures up on the internet?
Yes.
Why do you think adults do it?
Because maybe
they want
they're
friends.
Yeah.
They want friends.
Maybe they're like
doing something.
maybe they're
And they
like
wanna,
really
like-
lonely.
No, it's like maybe.
Or they want to like meet more people, but it could be dangerous if they do that.
Or maybe they want to take the footage when they're like child's older, so they can look at them when they was like little and remember all the memories they had.
Do you think you should be able to take pictures down
Yeah.
and delete them?
Yeah. I mean, because you could just like post the video and then like a few months later you look at it again and you're like, oh, I don't like this picture anymore.
So if we were drawing up some rules for parents, what would they be?
Ask your child first to post.
Permission.
Yeah.
Number one.
What he said.
Just think about it for a few days, and then if you really want to put it up, then put it up.
Think about it for a few days before posting.
Yeah, because it's like
Not that long.
Like if you know what Phoenix was saying,
Maybe
about,
a few hours.
It's, like it stays there forever. Like if you put something up, you can never get it down. But if it's like something you really hate, and that so you really like it at first, and then a few days later, and then a few like months later, you look at it and you're like, oh my god, that was such a bad video, and you can't take it down. So I think you should like think about it for like a few weeks, just to make sure.
That's really interesting.
It's a bit too long, I would say. I mean, this is my opinion. But, I mean, that means, like, let's say if you're, like, saying, it's my birthday, then, like, a few weeks later, they'll be like, your birthday was, like, a week ago. And then it'll be a bit odd. But, I mean, I know what you mean by saying you should wait a bit.
So this conversation that we're having now is going to go on the internet.
Yeah.
And as you say, once it's up there forever.
Yeah, you can
Is that
never
okay?
take it down. Like,
Yeah.
Do we have your permission to use it?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Or do you want a few hours to think about it?
A week. I might need a week. And a week later. Do you take photos of your kids and put on?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Do you ask their permission before you do it?
Sorry?
Do you ask your permission?
They, no, I don't actually, to be honest. You kind of got me there. Sometimes I do, or sometimes they will say, don't post that, and they'll make sure. Or they'll say, don't take a picture of me because I don't want to have a picture taken.
Have you ever like taken a photo and then they told you
Why did you take
they
that?
don't like it, but then you forget and post it?
No, I don't forget. I can't. I mean, my kids are almost as talkative as you. Well, thank you all very much indeed. I think that's great. We should get them talking about some other things in the programme next time, I think. Thank you very much indeed for watching. That's it for tonight.
It's good they put you on the spot.
Turn the tables.
About time.